Hello, and welcome to flashedphones.net. Today, we're going to learn how to flash your phone.
Okay, so we've got our Samsung Galaxy S3. This is the Sprint version. We're going to flash this from Sprint over to Boost Mobile. Now this method of flashing will work on the Verizon Galaxy S3, but on the Verizon version, you have to unlock the bootloader, root the phone, and put a custom ROM on it, and then run a script on it to enable diag mode. That is not covered in this video. We have another video that covers the Verizon Galaxy S3. But let's get on to flashing the Sprint version. So we're at the home screen of the phone. We'll click on the phone dialer, and we're going to dial pound pound 3424 pound. That's going to take us to the phone utility screen. It's by default in PDA mode. We want to change it to CDMA modem, and then we'll click Qualcomm USB settings, and we're going to click the very bottom option, DM plus modem plus ADB, and we're going to click OK. Now we'll hit the home button, and let's now turn our attention to our computer. So over at the computer, the file that we send you with the custom profiles in it so that you can flash to the account, if you open that up, you're going to see the profile for CDMA Workshop version 3.2 and higher, and then you'll see the memory files that you can use with CDMA Workshop 2.7. That's if you have the cracked version. We're going to show you how to use both. But what we want to look at now is the custom Galaxy S3 drivers. You want to install those on your computer before you plug the phone in. Even if you have Kios installed, which are the Samsung default drivers, go ahead and install these drivers, and then once that's done, go ahead and plug your phone in. So we plugged the phone in, and on your computer it's going to start loading the drivers. This phone's been connected to this computer, so the drivers are already loaded. If you right click on the computer and go to Property, then Device Manager, you can just click on COM ports, and you'll see there's the Samsung USB serial port that we want. So we'll close out of that. Now let's open up CDMA Workshop. The new version takes just a few moments longer to authenticate to their servers. But once it does, we'll click on Port, and then there's our Samsung USB serial port. We'll click on that and click Connect here. Go to the Security tab. In the passwords, Samsung default and send. And now go to the Main tab, click Load, and we'll navigate to the desktop and then the Flash S3 folder. You'll see that I blacked off the customer's phone number for obvious reasons, and you'll just load that profile. And now you'll go ahead and click Write, and that's going to write it to the phone, and then that's done. You can simply reboot the phone and the flash is done. So let's do that now. And the easiest way to do that is just to go up here to Mode and then click on Reset, and that's going to reboot the phone. Okay, so the phone is booted back up, and now we'll go to the dialer. We'll make a test call. I wonder if these guys will answer their phones. Alright, so the phone works. Now let's go back to the home screen, and we'll just go to the internet real quick. There's Google. Let's Okay, go to Yahoo. Now we've been to Yahoo before. It looks like it's still cached. So let's go ahead and load up something that we haven't loaded before. That loads pretty quick. Yeah, internet's working great. Okay, perfect. This flash is done. Now, let's go ahead and we'll reset the phone, and we're going to flash it using CDMA Workshop 2.7, because I know that some of you guys still use the cracked version, even though we've encouraged you time and time again to buy the real version of CDMA Workshop. Please. At any rate, I'm going to show you something interesting about Samsung phones. If you go ahead and go back to your dialer, hit pound 3424 pound. A lot of you guys complain about this. You'll see that we're still in CDMA mode, modem mode, and if you go to Qualcomm settings, we're still in the DM plus modem plus ADB mode. So you would think we could simply just plug the phone in and it's going to come up. But let's go back to the computer. We're going to plug the phone in, and we hear the phone connect. We'll go to My Computer, go to Properties, Device Manager, and we'll go to the COM ports, and we'll see that Samsung serial port there. But now let's go to CDMA Workshop, and we're going to select port 20, which is our serial port. We're going to connect to it. Now let's go to Security, and we'll send that Samsung default. And you'll notice down here that the phone doesn't answer. It doesn't send to the phone. And now many of you guys get stumped here, and you say to me, I could COM the phone up once, but I can't get it to connect the second time. This is common, and it's this way with every Samsung phone that they've ever made. What you have to do is go back to the dialer, pound 3424 pound, and turn it off a CDMA modem. Put it back in PDA mode, then go to Qualcomm settings, put it back in MTP mode, hit OK, go back to the home screen, and now reboot the phone. So I'm going to click restart, and the phone's going to reboot. So now the phone's rebooted. We'll go back to the dialer, pound 3424 pound. Maybe I entered that wrong. Nope, there it is. And we'll switch it to CDMA modem, and we'll switch it back to DM modem plus ADB. And now we'll go home, and now we'll plug it in. And let's go to ports, and there's our connection, and now you'll see that it actually connected. So that's perfect. Now we're going to assume that you don't have CDMA Workshop 3.8. So we're going to disconnect here and exit out of this. Now this is on COM 20, so if we open up the CDMA Workshop 2.7, which is the cracked version, which you really shouldn't be using, but you'll notice on the COM ports it only goes to 25. Well, most of you guys who are our affiliate flashers flash a lot of phones, and you're on a COM port higher than 25. So let's say we want to change the COM port. Say we're on COM port 120. Well, we can right click on My Computer, click Properties, go to Device Manager, and then click on Ports again. And on this Samsung mobile serial port, we're going to go to Properties. We'll go to Port Settings and then Advanced. And here you'll see the port number. Now remember, we're pretending that this is 120. And let's say we want to drop it down to a port that we can use. So let's put it on port 15. So here's port 15. Now it says in use. It's really not. It just remembers that I had one point in time COMmed the phone to COM 15. Just click it and then hit OK. It's going to say that that COM is being used by another device. We don't care. Click yes. And then hit OK again. And now you'll see the COM has changed. But to really get the phone hooked up to the computer on COM 15, you need to unplug the phone Just leave it unplugged for a minute, and now go ahead and plug it back in. And now you'll see COM15 again, and now it's really calmed up. So now we can come over here and we can go to COM15 and we can connect. The problem is with Workshop 2.7, in order to write the memory files you need the SPC. So the SPC you cannot read with CDMA Workshop, even the paid version. Now in the paid version, the actual passcode unlocks the entire phone, where in 2.7 it doesn't for some reason. But it's simple. You can just go to DFS. I'm sure that if you're using the cracked version of CDMA Workshop, you don't have the paid version of DFS, which is fine. You can use the demo version, and you can simply go to Ports on DFS, double click on the Samsung port, click it here again. Now it's going to connect to DFS. You go to Programming, and right here where it says SPC, click Read, and that's going to give you the SPC of your phone. So I'll copy that. I'm just going to slide this over to the other window, and I'm going to disconnect from CDMA Workshop. I'm sorry, DFS. So now I'll come back to CDMA Workshop. I'll connect to it. I'll go to Security. I'll write that SPC, and then we'll send it to the phone, and it's unlocked. Now we'll go to main, and we're going to disconnect, because if you're using 2.7, you need to reset the phone before you can write the NV files to it. So let's go back to the phone, and we want to go to the phone dialer. Now if you want to keep the information that's on the phone, you can type pound 253 27 pound, and that'll reset it, but it won't reset our personal information. If you want to reset everything, you can click and go back and do pound 786 pound, and that'll erase everything on the phone. So we'll go ahead and reset. Now it's going to ask for your MSL, which we got off of DFS, so it's 139213. Click OK, and now it's going to ask if we want to reset. We're going to say yes. And now the phone is going to reset itself. This takes a couple of minutes. The phone's going to reboot. When it boots back up, it's going to take us through the setup procedure for the phone. Okay, so here we are. We're booted back up, and we're just going to go ahead and click through all the setup. We're going to click Not Now, Next, Next, okay, Next. Just kind of jump through all these hoops here. So now we're back at the home screen, and of course we want to connect the phone. So we're going to go ahead and go to Apps again. Go over to Settings. We're going to go to Developer Options. Click OK at the warning that tells you could blow up your phone. Then we're going to turn on USB debugging. Go back to the home menu. Go to the phone dialer. Pound 3424 pound. You guys should be experts at this by now. We're going to go to CDMA modem, Qualcomm USB settings, DM modem plus ADB on the bottom, and click OK. And now we can plug our phone back in. Okay, so now we should be on COM15, so we're going to connect. Nope, didn't connect us. Let's see what's going on. We'll go to the computer, go to Device Manager. There we are on COM15, so let's take a look here. We'll connect. There we are. And we're going to go to Security. Our SPC is still there, so we'll send that again. That's correct. Phone is unlocked. We'll go to Memory. We're going to click Write, and it's going to take us right into the S3 file on our desktop, and we're going to click on number 1, and that's going to write. And now we're going to click on number 2, and that's going to write as well. The only other thing that I like to do when you're using NAM memory NV files, as opposed to a full profile which writes everything for you at one shot, I like to go to Other, and I like to write the PRL on the Samsung phones. Let's see, I'm going to go to Computer. Let's see. Dropbox. PRL. And I'm going to use Boost. And so that's written now. So once that's done, we can disconnect from there. And let's go ahead, and we are going to set our picture messaging. So we can go to the dialer, pound pound 3282 pound. We're going to edit, and it's going to ask for that MSL again. So that's going to be 139.213. Remember, for your phone it will definitely be different. And we're going to go to Others, MMSC URL. We see it's reset to Sprint because we reset the entire phone. And we'll click that back to erase that. Now these phones are real special with their wanting to tell you how to spell stuff. So mm.my.boost. And you see what it's doing to me. It's changing the word. So I'm going to back up, BOO. And so if you just do a space and then go back, it kind of holds what you've got there. So you can see what happens. Keeps changing it on you. S, T. Okay, we got that far. So I'll do space and then back and then mobile. Dot. I'll do a space, then back, com. Okay, so that's exactly what we want. And we'll hit OK. Now we'll hit the home button, and now we're going to reboot the phone. Okay, so the phone's booted back up, and the hands-free activation is going to start. And there it says device has been activated. Now it's going to update the PRL. That's been updated. I think it's going to try the firmware. No, device will reboot. And so now we're booted back up. And now it's going to check for the firmware. There's none available. Let's go ahead and make a phone call. Alright, so that works. And now we'll go to the home screen, and we'll go to the internet. And since we reset the phone, we'll go back to the default home screen. We'll go to Google, nice and fast. And let's go to Yahoo, nice and fast. So there you go, guys. How to flash the Samsung S3 from Sprint using CDMA Workshop, the paid version or the free version, using our profiles and internet and the NV files. So we want to thank you for watching the video. As always, if you have questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can go to our website, www.flashedphones.net. And you can click on Contact Us, And there is an email form right there. You can fill that out, and the email comes right to one of our text desks, and we'll contact you right back. So that's it. Till next time, keep flashing.